It's hard to imagine anything eclipsing the imminent impeachment trial of President Donald Trump. But that's where Congress finds itself, with the United States on the brink of military conflict with Iran. Trump's killing of Iranian Maj General Qassem Soleimani has overshadowed the third presidential impeachment trial in U.S. history, at least for now. But the twists are still coming at a breakneck pace. Not long after Trump issued new threats to Iran on Monday, John Bolton, his former national security advisor, said he'd testify about Trump's Ukraine scandal if subpoenaed by the Senate. Meanwhile, the House could vote as early as Thursday on a resolution asserting Congress's sole authority to declare war. Story continued below. Lawmakers are left struggling to prioritize the two dramas, and could for weeks if Iran retaliates against the United States while the Senate considers removing Trump. It's a microcosm of Trump's frenetic presidency. The plotting pace of Congress has it barely keeping up as an institution. Sen. Tim Kaine, DVA, a leading advocate for reining in the president's unilateral military abilities, even envisioned a Senate handling a debate on Trump's war powers in the mornings later this month and turning to the impeachment trial in the afternoons, technically possible with bipartisan agreement. It is a fascinating time to think that we are having two very important separation of powers debates play out at the same time, said Sen. Susan Collins, remain a key swing vote on both matters. Although the circumstances are extremely difficult in both cases, those debates are historic, and in the case of the use of military force, long overdue. Absolutely, unequivocally we can. Sen. John Tester, Demont, said, when asked whether the Senate can handle impeachment and Iran simultaneously. The amount of time we waste around here, we could handle both of those with one arm tied behind our back. Impeachment fervor may have briefly faded as the top issue in Washington because the trial seems almost certain to lead to the president's acquittal, while the result of Trump's belligerent approach to Iran remains a huge question mark. Media coverage of Iran has cranked up in recent days, while impeachment headlines have plummeted. Senate leaders toggled between Iran and impeachment in their opening speeches for the second consecutive session on Monday. We find our nation facing two grave and serious choices. One concerns our unity at home and the future of our Constitution. The other involves our strength abroad and the security of our homeland, said Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who defended the president's Iran strike and castigated Democrats for pursuing impeachment. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer vowed to quickly bring the war powers debate to the Senate floor, then pivoted into his drive for the Senate to subpoena witnesses and documents for Trump's impeachment trial in order to avoid a sham proceeding. The urgency of the situation in the Middle East has made Democrats feel compelled to respond, even as they try to remove the president under charges he abused his office by pressuring Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden, a 2020 rival. Democrats are forcing debates to block war with Iran, threatening public hearings and trying to restrict Trump's future military authority. Sen. Debbie Stabenow, D-Mish, compared her party's January balancing act to its December gymnastics. It's no different than the House putting together the budget deal with the new trade deal and impeachment. That's the job. It's a lot. They're both constitutional obligations, both to protect our country in a very dangerous time for the whole world, and obviously to see if we can get a full and fair presentation of the facts on Trump's impeachment, Sen. Mark Warner, DVA, said. Meanwhile, Republicans are defending Trump on multiple fronts, from the effort to oust him from office and the criticism that his unexpected killing of Soleimani could spiral the United States into war. Sen. Martha McSally, RREs, said, it is not the role of Congress to determine if the president should strike at targets like Soleimani, and accused Democrats of playing politics with everything. But they also see an opportunity in portraying Democrats as weak. McConnell criticized top Democrats who rushed to downplay Soleimani's evil while presenting our own president as the villain. Just looking at this impeachment circus, can you imagine getting consensus from 535 members of Congress and taking the necessary action to remove this general from the battlefield? That's why the Constitution gives that authority to the president, said Sen. On Cornyn, R. Texas. The situation on Capitol Hill is likely to evolve rapidly after Congress's long holiday break. Pelosi is moving to hold a war powers debate this week in the House. Senate Democrats will force the issue in the upper chamber as early as next week, and administration briefings for lawmakers begin Wednesday. Pelosi is also expected to send over the articles of impeachment in the coming days, bringing to a head the conflict between Schumer and McConnell on the trial rules. Several Republicans declined to discuss the contours of the trial until the Speaker transmits the articles to the Senate. That could happen any time after the House returns on Tuesday evening, opening up multiple constitutional battles between Democrats and the president. Both are very important and both are fundamental constitutional responsibilities that we have, Senator Ben Cardin, DMD, said. To me, it's pretty clear the president's authority to use the military against Iran is very questionable. And I don't see too many Republicans speaking out against it. Moreover, the dual fights put the handful of centrist Senate Republicans in the spotlight on every single vote. For Democrats to force the war debate or win votes during the impeachment trial, they will need 4 Republicans to break with GOP leaders who want to shelve both issues as quickly as they can. Collins was non-committal on the question of calling Bolton and whether to advance Kane's debate on Trump's war-making authority. But to most in the GOP, the calculation is much easier. I don't think we should be dealing with the impeachment issue at all, Senator Jim Inhofe, Arokala, said. He also didn't see any problem with Trump ordering the Soleimani killing under the 2002 resolution authorizing the U.S. military campaign in Iraq. Trump has the authority to do what he's done. Let's block ads. Why?